I want to talk to you now, especially if you've never watched me or listened to me before, and I want to use this opportunity as an example, as a tutorial, as an instructional for you to understand how you should grasp certain things and understand how to look at news stories. You're going to be called a conspiracy theorist for whatever reason, and these are people who don't know anything about what's going on. And my suggestion to you is great, like the great Gore Vidal says, don't be a conspiracy theorist, be a conspiracy analyst. Now, what I'm about to tell you is instructional because it shows you yet again what people do not understand, what people are not figuring out, what people are not apparently worried about, what they're not paying attention to for reasons I don't understand. This situation that happened, this horrible situation that happened in this morning or yesterday regarding the collision, the midair collision, screams for you to pay attention, screams for you to ask, screams. But the only way you're going to do this, the only way this is going to happen, is if you know enough about the questions that other people are going to be asking. And they're not going to be asking this on Fox News or CNN or Newsmax or whatever the hell you want. If it's cable news, forget it. Forget it. And to an extent, there's some other run-of-the-mill people. You're not going to hear in the New York Post, Breitbart, they don't think this way. They go up to a point, and then when they start to get suspicious, then they stop. And what we're learning right now because of Bobby Kennedy, who is being questioned and others, that being suspicious and being conspiratorial, which is the wrong term, and I've explained that a million times, because a conspiracy is an agreement between two or more people. There's nothing to do with what's agreed to. It's just merely the operational definition of who's in agreement. In any event, the midair collision between American Airlines Flight 5342 and a military Blackhawk helicopter over the Potomac has triggered a storm of speculation and curiosity and questions who are, I think, questions that are noteworthy, and this should raise suspicions about what really happened. And for those who distrust official narratives, the tragedy seems absolutely ripe with unanswered questions. Could this be another instance of military overreach? Could this be clandestine missions gone wrong? Or even a deliberate cover-up to hide sensitive information from the public? Do you think that sounds out of the ordinary? Is that beyond belief? Is that beyond possibility? Do you think so? Just tell me if you do. Please go someplace else. This isn't for you. Because one of the most burning questions circulating online, and this is the most important, is the true identity of passengers aboard the CRJ 700 regional jet and the Blackhawk helicopter. It's funny about that. If you go, and I remember learning this during the time of 9/11. It's so great. Boy, they knew the name of all of the terrorists immediately, where they were sitting, who they were, who was flying. How did they know who was flying a plane? Anyway, but when they don't want to know something, I mean, you can't get anything out of these people. Now, while the initial reports have confirmed the presence of Russian figure skating legend Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov, I know I'm mispronouncing the names, I'm so sorry, but a lot of folks are suggesting that their involvement could be, that's right, the distraction from more significant figures who might have been on board. Now think about this. Were there government whistleblowers, military defectors, scientists carrying sensitive information? Tell me. Could their presence have been the real reason behind the midair collision, leading some to maybe speculate that this incident wasn't a tragic accident, but an elimination operation disguised as one? Is that far-fetched? Is that beyond the realm of reason? If you think so, go someplace else. I'm telling you, what I'm about to tell you is going to get even more, and I'm just asking questions. Remember, I'm just asking questions. The collision raises another critical question. What was the Blackhawk doing in restricted airspace so close to Reagan National Airport during prime flight hours? Now, many people have been pointing out that Blackhawk helicopters aren't commonly involved in routine flight paths alongside civilian aircraft. Was it on a covert mission related to surveillance or military transport? Some have speculated that it might have been tracking or transporting high-value, high-asset targets, potentially linked to classified defense operations. Others have suggested the possibility of electromagnetic or GPS interference, a theory gaining traction after it was revealed that the Blackhawk had reported navigational issues before the collision. Now think about this. Remember, I'm just asking questions. You don't mind that, do you, right? I hope not, because if you do, go someplace else. And perhaps the most explosive theory revolves around the idea of remote control. You know, in recent years, advancements in drone technology. What was that? Drone? Where have I heard about drones? Oh, yeah, the drones over New Jersey, where I am, sort of. Yeah. President Trump said it was hobbyists. Okay. Anyway, advancements in drone technology and military control systems have led many to speculate about whether the Blackhawk could have been hijacked remotely. Far-fetched? Some have even floated the theory that this technology could be used either by foreign adversaries or even by factions within the U.S. government to carry out controlled accidents. Controlled accidents. Or controlled accidents. You select the air quotes accordingly. Was the helicopter's flight path deliberately manipulated to collide with the passenger jet? And if so, by whom? You saw it. It was just barreling towards it. The lack of immediate answers from military officials has only fueled questions as to this theory. And I'm just asking questions. And if asking questions bothers you, I'm telling you, go someplace else. Critics have also noted the remarkably quick deployment of more than 300 first responders, dive teams, and federal officials, almost as if it were pre-staged for the incident. Was this preparedness a sign that some officials knew the crash was imminent? Just saying. According to some folks, the swiftness of the response and the setup of a temporary morgue within hours raises honest questions about whether the authorities were aware of the potential for a catastrophic event. Furthermore, listen to this. Why did the Pentagon initiate an investigation almost immediately? And why were key officials, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, involved so quickly? Well, what I could say is because it was a Blackhawk. Blackhawk, okay. But another major piece of the puzzle, remember, I'm just asking questions, and I'm going to say it again. If you don't like asking questions, go someplace else. Go to those other little YouTube channels and look at a 12-year-old unboxing a curling iron. That's nice. But another major piece of the puzzle lies in the audio recordings from the air traffic control tower. According to several sources, there were anomalies in the radio communications between the tower, the Blackhawk, and the civilian aircraft moments before the crash. Some of the exchanges, it is said, reportedly suggest that there was confusion regarding the helicopter's position and altitude. Some people have questioned whether this confusion was due to technical interference, a cyber attack, deliberate manipulation, or the communications itself, or some combination thereof. Could these anomalies point to a larger, coordinated effort to create a controlled collision, a controlled accident? And finally, some theorists have suggested and viewed the crash as a possible warning or maybe a signal to key figures within the political or the military establishment, with high-profile deportations underway. A government crackdown on criminal, illegal aliens, and renewed tensions with foreign powers like Russia and China. The timing of this event has not gone unnoticed. Could the presence of Russian nationals on board further complicate the narrative? Some people are speculating whether their tragic deaths were collateral damage or part of a broader targeted operation. I don't know. Those are questions. Remember, I'm asking questions. I'm not telling you anything. I'm directing inquiry. I ask questions. Could this have been some symbolic gesture meant to demonstrate control or issue some veiled threat to those opposing certain agendas? Look at this. What? Do you mean to tell me after what we've been through with 4 years of that administration? Do you think any of this is far-fetched? Do you think those people who were involved have gone away? Do you think the deep state and the shadow government lost the election? You don't think that, do you? You don't think they somehow are packing their bags and saying, well, our mission's done here? I don't think so. As this official investigation unfolds, many people, myself included, are demanding full transparency from the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, the Pentagon, and the Department of Homeland Security. Until then, my fellow patriots, until then, questions about who, if any, orchestrated the incident, why it happened, whether it was preventable, all of this will continue to dominate not the alternative media landscape, but the media. This is a part of the media. That other stuff is the old, otiose, concretized, ossified media. Was this merely an unfortunate accident? Or is there a deeper, murkier, more sinister plot lurking beneath the surface? I ask you a question. Do you find these questions interesting? I do. If you like these questions, because remember, I'm asking questions. I got to keep telling people this because I'm not an investigative agency myself. I just ask questions. Did you know that 87% of those people who watch my videos, 87% aren't subscribed? You better be subscribed for your own good if you like to think and to ask questions. President Trump would insist that we ask questions. So like this video, subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of live videos and new streams and the like. And please, I ask you, good friend, good human, good patriot, good citizen, I ask you, dear friend, to comment as you see fit.